Okay, so we'll start, right? So we were discussing about leadership, right? What is leadership? What are how does it benefit us? And what are the different approaches to leadership? So what is leadership? Leadership means what is it? It's a art. It's a process of inspiring people so that they willingly, okay, they willingly and enthusiastically try for accomplishing the goals, right? Try for accomplishing the organization goals or organization objectives, right? So they work for the betterment of the uh, office or betterment of the organization by themselves itself. Yeah, willingly they are doing, and a person has to inspire them to do so, and process, okay, that is the leadership. And seeing the difference between leading and managing. So not English can say that leading is a complement to managing, right? Managing means we are creating and maintaining an environment in which people can work together so that the organization goals are met, right? So leading or leadership will help it, right? Will help the people to work. Okay? It will inspire the people to work so that we can meet our organization goals. So leading is a supplement to the managing process, right? So the next thing which we saw was what are the different approaches to leadership, right? How can we identify a leader, right? So first was trait approach, okay? Trait, or we can say at always have anything taken as a trait. Okay? And what is trait approach? What did you do? The research, right? Study and they made a list which according to characteristics were there, right? Many were there. Okay? Then a few were selected as key, included drive, okay, his ambition, right? Then his self-confidence, right? His cognition, right? Traits were added as yes traits, right? Different traits were there. Okay? And how does this help? So this gives us a constructive idea, okay, what we have to look for in a leader. Okay? So if as the great potential to become a great leader. So that was the takeaway from the whole process, right? And it also gives the people also, the managers also, develop themselves because they know that these are great people looking for. His drive, his confidence, his mental ability, availability, all these things. This can also work on that. Can also work on that so that they can become better leaders also. They can become a better candidate for the position. So, what are the problems with this approach? The problem where the first thing is basically whatever we are saying, he should honesty and integrity, okay? Self confidence, his ambition, his drive. So these things are all basically how do we behave. Okay? These are all, most of them are behavior patterns. Okay? So actually, what the researchers, they are saying that these are the traits we have to look for. Okay, but how much is needed, that cannot be defined. And what is the relationship between the trait and the person, or trait and the uh, leadership ability? That is also not defined. So we cannot come solely depend upon this trait approach. What we can do is we can take the positives. We can take it as an indicator to what a leader should be. Okay, so that was trait approach. The next approach is contingency or situational approach. So that was developed by Mr. Fred E. Fiedler. Okay, Fiedler and his associates formulated or came up with this theory, right? Because why is it so it's important? Because whenever a manager is deciding or manager is creating the environment, right? We said it's the creation and maintenance of an environment in which people can work together so that the goals of organization goals are met, right? So whenever the person is or the manager is deciding upon or designing the environment, he has to take the situation also into context, right? Like it's what we have said. Okay, we are having a plant or production unit, like say 40 kilometers from the nearest town. Okay, so when the manager is deciding upon or planning upon the what are the things to be done, he has to take into account the accommodation. He has to take into accommodation of transportation. Okay, food he can arrange a candy. That's not a big issue. That also has to be taken into account. But he can assign food also, right? Food accommodation, transportation. So people who are ready to travel, okay, they should be given a chance to. Uh, they should given an option of transportation. He can charge for them. Okay? He can charge. That's another thing. But there should be an option. Okay? A bus should be provided from the nearest town. Otherwise, he cannot be make sure that the time schedule is being met. Right. Similarly, for those who are not willing to travel daily 40 kilometers to and fro, they can. What can be done for them? It can be accommodation facility may be provided. Okay, again, charging is different. He can rent it out. He can say amount will be cut from a salary. That's okay, but he has to take the situation into consideration. Okay? A manager cannot say it's your responsibility whether you come or not. Okay, it's not my responsibility. Okay, what happens if he says that he doesn't become a good leader or he's not taking into consideration the other factor, that is human psyche is not considered there. Okay? So that will reduce the morale. Okay? There the feeling will come. Okay, this is enough. Okay, we were saying like, okay, this is enough for him. This is enough. That sort of a feeling may arise. So that becomes a problem for the company. So a good manager should take the situation also into consideration whenever he is designing an environment for performance, right? And what is this theory? The theory is people becomes leader not only because of their personality attributes, but also because of various situation factors. Okay? Situation factors and the interaction between the leaders and group members. Again, a common movie theme. The hero becomes a leader, or he becomes the hero because of the situation. Same way. So, what I understand is the personality attributes are important. Okay, it has to be considered also. Okay, people become leader not only because of their personality attribute. The personality attributes are needed. Okay, so trait approach is important. You have to consider that that's important. People become leader not only because of personality attributes, but also because of various situation factors and the interaction between leaders and group members, right? So the situation is to be considered, and what is the interaction, what is the relationship between the leaders and group members. These three things will make a person leader. Okay? His personality will be there, the situation will be there, and his interaction with the members. These three things are the driving force for person becoming a leader. Clear? Now, what are the different dimensions of leadership? Okay, there are, according to Friedler, again there are three dimensions. Okay, three critical dimensions of leadership that helps to determine what type of leadership will be the most effective. Okay, so first we see what are the dimensions, then we see what are different types. Okay, type of leadership also. Okay, so first dimension is position power. Position power. So position power means it is a degree to which the power of a position enables a leader to get group members to follow his decisions. Right? So position power means it is the power of the position. It is not the leader's quality, but the position in which he is sitting. Okay, or the position which he is having. That power position will lend him some power, which will make people follow his decisions. Okay, you can take for example of a minister. Okay, the minister, the Constitution of India. Okay, our Constitution is giving him certain power, right? So being a minister, he's getting certain power, certain privileges, and that will make people follow his decisions. So position power is the first dimension. Okay? In this, it is the power arising from the organization authority. Okay? We are setting out the organization that is giving him the power. According to Fiedler, a leader with clear and considerable position power can obtain good followership more easily than one without such power. Right? Again, we have seen in movies itself. The minister who is a corrupt minister, maybe he's about to resign. Movie CIA, you might remember that. It is a scene, right? Dick is talking to the minister, right? What does the minister say? Okay, I'm having the power, so when I die, I'll get my picture in the first column. I'll get the salute, everything I'll get, right? 21 gun salute. But if I die without as a normal person, okay, if I die without the ministerial position, my death news will be somewhere in the middle, a small, it will become a small news, right? Same thing, right? So if a person is having power, which is very clear and considerable power is there, then he can get good followership. So people will follow a person with power, okay, rather than following a person with no power. Okay, he might have followers, but it's easy for a person with power to get the followership, right? That is the first dimension, power position. The second dimension is task structure. Okay, so this dimension deals with the extent to which tasks can be clearly explained and people be held responsible for them, right? So this dimension deals with the extent to which tasks can be clearly explained and people be held responsible for them. If tasks are clear, the quality of performance can be more easily controlled and group members can be held more responsible for performance, right? So what happens is, in this dimension, we have where it's related to task. The first one is related to position. This is related to the task of what we have to do. Yeah, what the subordinate or what the group members has to do, right? So if the task, what they have to do is clearly explained, and people be held responsible for them, then also, rather we can say this dimension deals with explaining the task very clearly to the people and holding them responsible for doing the job. Okay, right? So if I say we had to, I'll give you, you have to prepare pen. Okay, I'll call up to 10 of my employees. We are having a pen manufacturing company or unit. Yeah, I'll say we need to prepare pens. Okay, each of everyone will prepare maybe different types of pen, different colors of pen, right? Everything will be different. So I have given you a task, but there is no clear explanation what you have to do. So I cannot control the performance. You cannot control a performance. I cannot get the. I cannot hold a person responsible also. You cannot say why did you do this thing? You say you'll say you just said prepare a pen. Why made a pen? Because this is a pen, right? That will be the situation. But if I say prepare 100 pens in 1 hour, then everyone will have to prepare 100 pens. Provided I have made a situation, I made the arrangement for preparing 100 pens in 1 hour. Then I am giving you a task of preparing 100 pens in 1 hour. Every single one will have to prepare 100 pens. Okay, but again, there the issue is he may produce, one may produce 100 black pen, one may produce 100 blue pen, one may produce 100 red pen. So the fourth one may produce 25 black, 25 blue, 50 red. Okay, again, there is a difference. So again, I cannot question them. Okay, why did you do this? They say, you said prepare 100 pens. I have prepared 100 pens. Contingency, right? That is again an issue. So if I see, the more and more I am getting my tasks clear, my instructions clear to them, it becomes easy for me to judge, right? So if I'm saying you need to prepare 100 black pens in 1 hour, so then there's no issue, right? He has to, all the workers has to prepare 100 black pens in 1 hour. Or if I say 100 red pens has to be prepared, right? So then, what is happening? I'm able to control the performance, right? Yeah, I can easily control. So if I can see the person is not making 100% despite having the situation for it, he is not able to prepare 100 pens, then his performance is lacking. So I can make corrections for that, right? So it's so easy for me to control. So performance is getting easy to control, and people can be held responsible also. I can say if I am firing someone, I can say you couldn't do this. That's why I'm asking you to leave. That's why you're getting the boot. So that's why I'm scolding you. Okay, so that becomes easy. So that is the second dimension of leadership. That is task structure. How well you are explaining the task to the people. Okay. So if you are clearly explaining the task, and people can be held responsible for them also, right? The third uh, dimension is leader-member relationship. Leader-member relationship. So according to Friedler considers this dimension as the most important from a leader's point of view. Okay? The position, power, and task structure may be under the control of organization. Okay, so uh, again we saw right the position power. Okay, position power means it is because it's the power of the position. Tomorrow you don't have the power position, you will lose that power, right? You will lose the followership, right? Again, the task structure. Again, you are given the authority to make a decision. Okay? You have the authority to give out the task. 100 black pens in 1 hour. Okay? That is there. It's only because of that you are able to take the decision. Okay? Again, so both of those things, your task structure and position power, both of them is given to you by the organization. The organization may take it up. Okay? Tomorrow they may take it away, right? So, but the uh, this dimension, that is leader-member relations, it's all up to you. How you treat your colleague, how you treat your subordinates, and what kind of relations do you have with them. Okay, that will depend upon. It's all about you, how you have treated them. So this dimension, that is the leader-member relation dimension, deals with the extent to which the group members like and trust the leader. Okay, it is the, how much does the member like or trust the leader. Okay, that's all up to you, and this dimension deals with that. Okay, and are willing to follow the leader. Yeah, so we have three dimensions. Okay, so in this part, two questions may come up. So the first one, write a note on the contingency approach or situational approach for leadership. Okay, one is that. The second one is what are the different dimensions of leadership. Okay, so you have to write the answer accordingly. The dimensions of leadership are asked when say according to Fiedler has uh, said there are three dimensions for leadership. First one is position power, that is power given to you by the position, and that will help you make that will make people follow you. Okay, the more clear and more is the power, more will be followership, and it's easy for you to get followership. Okay, it's easy for you to garner followership than rather than a person who is not having the power. Right, that is the first dimension of leadership. The second dimension of leadership is the task structure. That is how clearly you are explaining the task to the person. Okay, how clearly you are getting things done. That will come to play there. Okay. The more clear you are, and the more you can hold people responsible. Okay, that is second one, task structure. Okay. So you can control the performance and also uh, do necessary changes if needed. Right. The third one is leader member relations. So this dimension, according to Peter, this is the most important leadership dimension of the leadership because this is all up to the leader. Okay, the leader, this the leader, the one who cultivates the trust, cultivates the whether people like him or not. Okay, so here his traits will come into play there, right? So you can see the traits coming into play there. So in this dimension, that is the leader member relation dimension, deals with the extent to which people like and trust the leader and are willing to follow them, right? That comes under there. So those are the dimensions of leadership. So don't get confused when a question comes up. Mark and write accordingly, right? Then according to Fiedler, he has put forward two leadership styles. Again, leadership styles we have to see in detail. Okay, so again check the question. What is the question? Okay, don't be confused. Like what you have done in your exam. Okay, what is the most common scenario of decision making? Every single one of you has written about decision making. What is the decision making? What is the evaluation of everything you have written? But the question was, what is the most common scenario of decision making? What is the most common scenario? It is the decision making under risk. And how do we do the decision making process there? We use sensitivity analysis, or we use decision tree analysis. Okay? That's what the question was, and none of you thought about that. Right? So whenever you're studying, just think about, give them 1 or 2 minutes. What is the possibility? What are the possible questions that may come? This section is one such portion where you may get confused, right? So question can come as contingency approach or situational approach of leadership. Question can come up as dimensions of leadership and Fiedler's leadership style. There are other leadership styles we have to study in detail, leadership behavior and styles. So don't get don't mix it up, right? So according to Fiedler, there are two leadership styles. Okay, the first one is task oriented. Task oriented means that is a leadership lead, that person is following task oriented leadership style. Okay, so he's a leader who follows task oriented, or he's a task oriented leader. Okay, there are two types of leader. One is first one is task oriented leader, and here what happens is the task oriented leader, what he does is he gains satisfaction from seeing task performed. Okay, so, so this type of leader, or the person who is following this type of leadership, he will be happy to see that the task is being done. Okay, if the task is being done, he's happy. Okay, he is satisfied. Only his priority is task, right? The second type of leadership is oriented towards achieving good interpersonal relations and attaining a position of personal prominence. Okay, second one is the leader wants to have a good relationship between the person, okay, between his subordinates, so a good relationship. Okay, right? So it's an example can be taken of a teacher. Okay? There may be a teacher who comes in, always calls you, makes you study, makes you do the exams on time. Everything will be on like pakka, right? You say everything should be on time. Everything should be done clearly. Everything should be cut and precise. Okay? There may be a teacher comes in who's very jolly, very friendly to you, and the teaching or the study material, the studying aspect may take the second place with the teacher. Okay, there the teacher will be trying to get a good relationship with the student. And who do you think will be more popular in the classes? The second teacher will be more popular, 100%. If I'm also the case, I will also be happy with the second. But when the exams comes, the situation will change. Okay, the same way. So the first type of leader is task oriented. He or she will be happy. He or she will be satisfied only if you complete your task. If you're doing a task on time, he or she will be happy. That is his style of leadership. That leader which makes sure that tasks are completed on time. Okay. Second type of leader will be one who is oriented towards achieving good interpersonal relationship. Okay. He'll be trying to get a good relationship with all his subordinates and achieving a position of personal prominence. Okay. So personally, he'll be like popular. Okay. So all people will look up to him. Everyone, if a party is there, everyone will call upon him. Like he'll be the most popular person. Right? That is the two types of leadership according to Fiedler. Right? So based on the study, Fiedler found that people who rated the co-workers in favorable terms were seen as deriving major satisfaction from successful interpersonal relationship. Right? So that's what we have just said. Right? What Fiedler found, the people who rated their co-workers in favorable terms were seen as deriving major satisfaction from successful interrelationship. Right? So, Fiedler asked to rate the work rate of leader was. Okay, and those people who those leaders who had this approach, that is good, making good interpersonal relations, they scored higher. Right? Obviously, they will score higher. Like, people were happy with them. Okay, people who rated their co-workers in unfavorable terms were seen as deriving their major satisfaction from task performance. Okay, and the persons who uh, were task oriented, okay, they got lesser rating. Okay, they got unfavorable ratings. Yeah, understood? That is the Friedler, according to his study, what he asked all the workers to rate your co-workers. Okay, and those co-workers who try to get good relationship between the others with others, they got higher rating. Okay, they got favorable uh, terms. Okay, than a person who were task oriented. Okay, persons who were task oriented got lower rating. Right? So that's normally human psyche. We can understand. Okay, if a teacher comes in, gives you daily assignment, daily works, daily test, and all, he or she will be less popular. Okay, than a teacher who is very friendly to you, tries to get a good relationship with you. Right? The same thing happens here. Right? So, Fiedler's contingency model of leadership can be summarized as. Okay. So, uh, the entire thing can be summarized here. Okay. So, what is actually Fiedler's contingency model? So, the principle is that people become leader not only because of the personality attributes, but also because of the situation and the relationship between the group members. Right? Interaction between the group members. Those three factors will culminate in the formulation of the creation of a leader. Right? Then there are three dimensions for leadership. Okay? The first one is power position. Right? The position, the power, the power derived from the position. Right? So if a person is having more power, that means he will have easier garnering more followers than a person who is not having power. It doesn't mean the person who is not having power will not get followers, but it is easier for a person with power. Okay, that's the difference. Okay. Second dimension was task structure. Okay. The more clear you explain a task, the more the clarity is there in the task, can hold people responsible. Okay. Performance can be uh, measured, the performance can be written, and can hold people responsible also if your task is very clear. The third one is the interaction, interpersonal interaction, leader member interaction. This aspect is more important for fielder as a point of view, as from the point of view of the leader. Why? Because the power position and the second one, the task structure, they are given to you by your organization. Okay? The organization may tomorrow take that power away from you, but you, the how much the people like you, trust you, and follow you will depend upon you. Right? You are the one who is creating the uh, that relationship. Okay? So based on this, leader had two types of proposed style, two types of leadership styles. One is task oriented. Those the leaders who follow this style will be happy or will be satisfied when the tasks are completed. Okay. Second one type of leaders are the one with interaction. They prefer getting good relationship between the subordinates. Okay, they will be happy when they make good relations with the subordinate and they get a prominence. Okay, they become famous or they become popular, right? So when the fielder tested out this theory, he found that people who got better rating were the ones who gave importance to this relationship development. Okay, and the people who got lesser rating were the ones who uh, went for this one, like what task. And the people who were more and more oriented towards the task, they got lesser rating than those who went for relationship formulation, right? And finally, this thing, everything can be summarized as in 3 points. One, that is when the position power is weak, the task structure is unclear, and the leader member relations are moderately poor. Okay? So all the three dimensions are weak. Position power is weak, task structure is unclear, leader member relations are moderately poor. Right? In that case, the situation is unfavorable for a leader. Right? And the most effective one will be who? What is the condition of here? Here, the position power is weak. So here, the leader is not having much of a power. The task structure is unclear. Okay, what task has to be done? It's also not clear. It's our first case. Okay, prepare pen. Okay, that is the case. And the leader member relations are also poor. Okay, or moderately poor. So there is no better, no good relationship. The relationship also. Okay. All the three dimensions are weak in this case. So you know, this if you are the leader in this situation, you are in an unfavorable situation, right? You don't have power. The task is not clear. You are not having a good relationship with the members. Okay, so you are in a bad position. Okay, and what is the best leadership style over here? This here, the style will be task oriented. Okay, so what can be done? What can you, being a leader, do here? You can see that the tasks are performed. Right? Clear? So what is first? What is the case? When the position power is weak, the task structure is unclear, and the leader member relations are moderately poor. All the three cases, all the three dimensions are weak. Okay, so you are in a bad position. So you, being a leader, in a bad position. And what is the style of leadership you can adopt here? The best one for this case, or the most effective one in this case, will be task oriented. Okay, so you can go for a task oriented leadership style. All right. What is the second case? Second case, the position power is strong. So you are having a power. Okay, the task structure is clear. Again, everything is very clearly set out, and the leader member relations are good. Again, this is also good. So all the three things are, all the three dimensions are positive. The situation is favorable for the leader. So if you are the leader, you are in a very good position. That you know you have the power, you have a clear-cut task structure in front of you, and you have a good relation with your group members also. Okay, so then you are in a very good position. And what is the uh, um, here it will be, again it can be task oriented leaders will be successful. Okay, so you can see that tasks are done or not. Here also task, you can go for task itself. So you are having good, so you can see, okay, you are having a good relations also. So there's no problem in that also. So here also you can follow a task oriented leadership style. Right? So if everything is bad, task oriented. If everything is good also, task oriented leadership will be better. Right? The third situation is the situation is moderately favorable or unfavorable. Okay, that is, it's not bad, but it's not good either. Okay, you have some power, you have some clarity in your task structure, and there is some relationship between your members. In that case, what is the best leadership style? The relation-oriented leadership style will be more effective. Clear? So what are the three cases? First case is everything is bad. So you don't have power, you don't have the task structure is unclear, and there's no good relationship between the relationship between is moderately poor. It's not bad, but it's moderately poor. In that case, you can follow the task-oriented leadership style. So you'll become a successful leader in that case. In the second case also, when everything is good, that is, you have the power, you have the what? You have the task is very clear for you. You have task structure is clear, and you have good relationship between the members. There also you can follow task structure, because as and when the tasks are complete, your work will be done. Okay. Third case is the situation is only moderately favorable or unfavorable. The relation oriented leader will be more. So if it is in between, it is not bad, it is not good either. In that case, you can follow the relationship. So you can, in this case, you will have to form good relationship between the workers and try to get the task done. Okay, so that is Fiedler's contingency. So three questions may come. One is, what is the contingent approach? Then dimensions of leader, and what are the leadership styles according to Fiedler. Okay. Next topic is about leadership behavior and styles. We'll see that in the next class in detail. So what are the behavior we had to look for? In a good leader, he should be selflessness, should have character. That is, he should be courageous, he should have determination, he should take initiative, he should have knowledge, he should be good in handling people, and he should be able to communicate. Okay, communicate means not only give, he should not be a radio. Okay, he should not be a radio, but he should also listen to us. Okay, we will see that in the next class. So we'll stop here today. And if you have any doubt, please let me know, or else we'll move on to attendance. And have you seen your assignment?